Alrighty, Maya is ready. And if Maya is ready, I am ready. Let's go ahead and see if we can get this party going. It's gonna be a fun night of video games. Lots of talk about football probably as well. So I hope you guys like football. I will focus on the action too, don't you worry. If you had to pick what to attend, the World Cup Finals or SC2 World Championship Finals, that depends. If the Netherlands is playing, I would want to watch the World Cup Final. If it's not the Netherlands, then I would pick the Starcraft 2 Finals. I think that's a good answer. And obviously, I'm going to be at the Starcraft. I mean, it's hard for me to answer that because I've already been at like 10 Starcraft 2 World Championship Finals. So I've never been to a World Cup Final. I've actually never even been to a single World Cup game. Anyway, the nerds are ready. I am ready. Indy is here as well. Hi, guys. Let's vamos. $60 on the line for our first series of the night. Let me double check if I'm live on Team Liquid. I am. 4 best of 5s. We have an undefeated man versus a man who's making his debut. This is the Dutch away jersey for the upcoming 2 years. So it just came out, I don't know, like a month or 2 months ago. And since the Euros are starting tomorrow and I'm a commercial sucker, I ordered 2 jerseys. The home jersey and the away jersey. I mean, I wear them anyway when I play Padel and whatnot, so I'll get some value out of them. Let's do it. Hello, Coco. Big Brain Bouts number 62 is a go.
Let's get it on.
Round 1. Fight.
Lights off and away we go. In the bottom right side, we're looking at the main base of the man who's undefeated on the Friday nights in the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts. That's why I gave him another invite, because that's what the BBB is all about. If you can go undefeated a couple times, we're going to make it harder and harder for you. And tonight, I think it is safe to say that he is an underdog. Can he keep his undefeated record intact? Hailing from the United States of America, it's Bully. Our man Bully. As one of his victims is in the chat. Hello, Max. I hope you're doing good, matey. In the top left side, we are looking at the main base of a Terran player that I'm not super familiar with, because this is obviously not totally my MMR. But he seems like a nice guy. He's a friend of some of my friends. He is a Russian Terran player who's been around for a while, hopped into the Discord and said, I want to play in the BBB. If you've got a good record in this community, it is that simple. You tell me you want to play, you can play. This is Maya. I like the nickname, by the way. I think I've said that before when I saw him once in a weekly, but as much as I remember a lot of games of StarCraft 2, I don't remember every single game that I've ever seen. Yeah, I've probably played against him and I've seen him, but I just don't know that much about him. I'm not going to pretend that I'm an expert on literally every single player on Battle.net. I mean, you guys give me Coco, I'll tell you what to expect, but Maya, Russian Terran, 5,000 something MMR, no. I don't know. Let's just lean back and see. He always plays close games with me. Yeah, I mean, his match history is kind of interesting, because I did see that he took a map of USAP. More impressively is that he also 2-0'd Eastos, and Eastos is really good. So I was like, are you sure you're 5k? But Wingant promised me that he is. Apparently Magnath is close to him as well. I said like, no, that's his MMR. He's just the kind of player that can punch above his weight, so alright. I mean, Bully is a beast on the Friday nights, so I'm ready. And let's see if Maya can get the dub. And obviously if Maya wins tonight, we can always give him a tougher opponent in the future. That's kind of the whole point of the BBBs. Bully did not want to expand elsewhere. Just pulled a couple probes, built a Zealot, took care of the eBay, and we'll take it from there. Maya has gone for something that reminds me a little bit of how Zardiant liked to play, where it's like eBay blocks into reacted factory cyclones. It's actually very annoying stuff to play against. I think it's wise that Bully decided to just take his natural, even if it's a bit later. That's probably slightly better than trying to take a third and then not knowing how to defend certain pushes. Hello, Imno. I joke a little bit that Bully is similar to Molten in their ways of absolutely loving DTs. Any game, they'll find the resources and time to sneak in the Dark Shrine. That is the first thing they do. When other people are maybe obsessed with upgrades, double forge or a quick robo, Bully loves DTs. This is a decent scout, but I don't think he's seen the first 2 Cyclones yet. Thank the Lord for Bully that we've got a battery, because if he has no battery here, he'd be in serious trouble immediately. Hello, Bully. Yes, Molten. I know, matey. I know. What are your expectations for tonight, Multi? You think Germany's going to be good or mediocre? Who are you rooting for? It's going to be a tough night for people from England. Do they root for Germany or do they root for Scotland? £2 on Scotland. I went pretty ham on Germany. Might have to use battery overcharge in the near future as 2 more cyclones going to show up. The initial battery is pretty much already drained. We have energy for an overcharge in case we need it. So far, I think Bully's handling this well. I don't love the timing of that overcharge. I think that's a tiny bit early. Because now there is a chance that they will turn around right when your overcharge runs out. And you barely have any healing on these 2 initial batteries. I also think that triple battery is maybe pushing a little too much. Double battery, I'm completely okay with. Yeah. I like that Bully decides to cancel this. I feel like there are very, very few scenarios where you're going to get value out of a 3rd battery. We've got a robo, guys. Unfortunately for our American Protoss, we're going immortal first. I kind of feel like what he needs is an observer. It is a good copy pasta. I like it. I'm a fan. I don't know if Bully is actually the one who made it. I know he's been spamming it a lot in the past. In Dutch we say sword zoekt sword. They may very well be DT brothers from another mother. One from England, one from America. There is a bit of disconnect, but if you go way, way, way back, I'm pretty sure the 2 are related. You think he did make it? Yeah, it's good. It is a very good copy pasta. 3rd Nexus on the way. It's obviously a little bit late. Now there are some moments where it's okay to have a slightly later 3rd base as a Protoss. This one is proper late. I don't know if that was really needed. At least we have an observer at home. Stalkers can blink. Stalkers will blink. Bully.
First blood.
Well, we'll take that. That's actually really good. Because now A, you know that there are Cloak Banshees, and B, you don't really need to stay at home anymore. I do kind of think you need to start going out. As Maya is moving out, it's a bunch of Marines, it's a Cloak Banshee, it's a bunch of Cyclones. I mean, maybe with a battery here. Things don't look too bad for the American Protoss, but we are going to have to control our units properly here. We've got Blink. We can break some of these lock-ons. Well, we've got Blink, but we're not using it. Charge is 70% done. This is a fun battle because this can really go both ways. I feel like if Bully just buys a little bit of extra time for Zello Charge to come online, I think he's going to be okay here. We have a 2nd tank making the journey over. Charge 85, 90% done. Soon we can use battery overcharge and then we can actually just put all of our units here. I think that's when I would love to see a blink towards this area. Let's go. Overcharge Bully. No, not on that one. Hey, why such a passive overcharge? I wanted to use a different word. Passive. We are going to blink forward towards the end. Stalkers will get the 1st tank. They're going to get the 2nd tank. 1 immortal here. I mean, overcharging this battery would have been so much better, but I still think it's going to be okay. I feel like we can hold this. We still have at least 1 observer here. The observer could go out of surveillance mode, and then maybe we can hunt down these Banshees. Because with or without the ups, we should be able to blink forward. Kill a couple Cyclones. Down 7 workers ain't good, but if we kill all these units and we kill a couple of these SCVs, maybe even one of the Banshees that's trying to make it home. Yeah, we've got time. Banger, guys. Or as Bully would say, turbo banger alert between these 2. The Manholds has now built 5 or 6 batteries in an 8-minute game. His opponent is working on Stim and Combat Shield. We apparently have 1 eBay in the back of the Natural. 8 minutes into Oceanborn, and it feels like these 2 are a pretty good match for one another. Bully is playing alright, but if he would have played a tiny bit sharper, a tiny bit more on the edge, and make 1 or 2 different choices, I think he could have been a lot further ahead than he currently is. If we can even say that he's ahead, but I also don't think you can really say that he's behind. We've got a Robobay coming online, a 2nd forge, 3 bases, we've got batteries. We know what we're playing against. Like, it's kind of even, but I feel that Bully should be ahead and could have been ahead. Hello, Yakmur. Does the match start, by the way, today, guys, at 8 or 9 p.m.? I didn't check. Or is it like 8:30? 9? Okay. That means that by the time that Big Gabriel, can believe it, Gabe casually accepting to play the BVB. Gabe strikes me as the kind of guy that would say, oh, I'll start watching in the semifinals. Up to that point, it's not that interesting. I like the confidence, Gabe. Yeah, I've been kind of unlucky in the last few editions of like Euros and World Cups because we've often had Starcraft 2 stop. I remember I had to watch Netherlands against Czech Republic while casting TSL 9. And I was like, that's not that bad, you know, like, okay, I'm missing the round of 16, but this is going to be a relatively easy win. And then the quarterfinals I can just watch with the boys in the city. Then I saw 0-0, 0-0, 0-0, and then I saw us get a red card. I'm like, oh my god. We're actually gonna go out. I'm sitting here casting ZVTs for 7 hours with Zombie Grub. And somehow we're getting eliminated by the Czech Republic. It's a dark day. And I think I was live here during that World Cup match between Netherlands and Argentina. Which was obviously very exciting. We did a big brain bouts and then we stuck around for the viewing party. All the hopes into a heartbreak. New summer, new hopes and dreams and ambitions. Maya, by the way, just keeps on making Banshees. Has made a 3rd Banshee apparently. Well, I guess he saved 2 Banshees, so we always had 3 Banshees. Was it in Home Story Cup the week after? Yeah, yes. Home Story Cup was during the grand finals of the World Cup. Or maybe like a little bit before as well. Thank you, Dave, mate, for gifting a sub to the Lazy Show and 100 bits. As these two have embraced all-out macro here for Game 1 on Oceanborn. It was fun. We were watching in the basement, like Solar was watching, Lambo, Lino, Executor, me, Multi. It was actually very fun to watch the World Cup with all the StarCraft 2 friends. Oh, I didn't see that, sorry. 6 buckies. Is he a chat? Mustache now? Yes. I believe he's still a chat mustache man. Thank you, mate. I will put it to very good use. This game started off with a lot of action. At this point, we're just macroing. Obviously, I think everything is very standard. But I hope it goes without saying that if any of you guys have any questions about the position that these players in or the choices they have made, I will gladly answer the questions. Who is better in a proper late game? Is it Bully or is it Maya? Wingant, in some of the games that you play with Maya, do you ever get to maxed out 4 base versus 4 base or 5 against 5? 1 EMP here, by the way, could be devastating. Bully! Oh, Bully! 1 EMP connects with 4 out of 6 High Templars, and now we're actually a little bit out of position. Thank the Lord we've got 27 batteries. We still have 2 more storms, but those 2 storms go down on just 3 Marauders. And I'm actually afraid that my boy Bully is going to get absolutely blasted here. It was an EMP for the ages from Amaya. It's not even shield battery. Overcharge is going to save the Protoss. We do have DTs though, baby. Unfortunately, Terran has a scans with or without a Raven. Archon is trying to do his best a tanky job. Not too many buy units remaining, but I think it is enough. A little bit of World of Tanks hashtag rollout. A game that could have gone on for a long time as Bully's got so much money in the bank as well. Gets decided by a single EMP. Ay. Tough one. Few more DTs. Bully now praying that his opponent does not have any scans, but there are ghosts in the mix as well with EMP, so that could reveal these Dark Templars. The Disruptor will get blown up by the tanks, and I'm afraid that will do it. It's a shame for Bully. The game didn't have to end here. If he just takes that fight in the center of the map, splits the High Templars up a little bit, I think there's a good chance that fight is even. Maybe he can even win it. Getting EMP'd like that and then being forced to use your only 2 storms the way that he did is obviously not it. The man is coping a little right now with more and more DTs, but that's not going to make a difference. GG. 1 single EMP, guys. What decided basically this entire game. Like if Bully's army right now is here and you start kiting, you have 1 High Templar on the left, you You have one High Templar here, maybe one flanking High Templar here. Then you go for a Zealot run by in the third or natural. There's so many different ways that a game like this plays out. But it's this little EMP that connects with 4 out of 6 High Templars. That basically ends the game. Unlucky for our man Bully. Seems like we have swapped servers immediately. Yeah, that's right. So we're going to go for Game 2 on NA. Obviously, this is America against Russia. So we'll start off on Europe. Game 2 will be on NA. Game 3 will be on Europe again. Amazing aim. Yeah, solid EMP. Maya is apologizing that his nickname on the American server is not correct. Don't worry, this is going to bring in the viewers, mate. It's all good. We're just farming clicks over here. Hashtag fake news over at the Roddy stream. Wouldn't be the first time that Bully takes down Maru. I love it. He's doing me a favor. I'm gonna ask Bully if he can rename himself to like Reina or Saro or something. Actually, nobody wants to see Saro Maru anymore. Maybe we can do max packs, you know? Zest, stats, trap, I don't know. Any of these Protoss nerds. Was the Widowmine nerf a little bit too much? Some Terrans will say yes, other Terrans are kind of okay with it. I do think that Widowmine drops as an opener are a lot weaker. I don't know if you can say that the nerf has been too much. We'll see. I think it's still somewhat early. Let's wait until the Esports World Cup comes around. Terrans have won enough. If they then don't kill a single worker with Widowmine drops, it is what it is.
Round 2. Fight!
Top left side, as we are now on his home server, so he's got ping advantage. Did not play a bad game, had a pretty good read on the situation. Excellent defense against the first Banshee. Just lost track of that army in the late game. Had a bit too much money in the bank as well, maybe like triple Robo, and then we donate some Zealots earlier so we get a stronger army to actually battle the Terran army. Would have been better, but hey. We can all do things better in a game of Starcraft 2. Hailing from Minnesota, it is a Bully. Had a great time in Dallas. Said it was one of the best Starcraft weekends he's ever had. And in the bottom right side, making his debut over in the Big Brain Bouts, guys, hailing from South Korea. He's on his way to win another GSO code S. Nobody is really keeping count anymore because the count is too damn high. This is Maru. It's not Maru. It's Maya. But if Maya wants to play on the Maru, we'll allow it. You know, a lot of people talk about what made StarCraft 2 less popular in Korea and what could have been better, X, Y, Z. Honestly, I think it's Maru's fault. That man has just won a few too many code S's up to the point where people don't find it interesting anymore. If Maru would have just won a few less and would have been a tiny bit more charitable and give a trophy to this guy and that guy and that guy, there's a good chance that our scene would have been booming. Greed is not always good. Whatever happened to, in honesty, we'll share everything. We blame life. I would blame life for messing up, yeah. Because he could have actually made life a lot harder on Maru. I would have really loved to see a whole bunch of ZVZs between Raynor and life. If life would have always kept playing, I kind of feel stylistically, Raynor against life would have been fireworks. That would have actually been amazing for us to watch. And would have probably turned ZVZ into everybody's favorite mirror. But we can't have it all in life, guys. Bully looking for an SCV kill. Can we get the SCV kill? He's close, but I don't think he's gonna get it. Instead, it is Maya
First blood.
who gets the kill with his Reaper. Bully gonna play Phoenixes here, guys. I don't know if he's a Phoenix Zealot enjoyer these days. A Void Ray? What? Oh no, Bully, what are we doing, mate? What are we doing? What? Why are we building a Void Ray? Never go full NA, guys. I've seen J Money play a best of 7 last night. That is about all the NA Starcraft that I can deal with. Sometimes the Void Ray, I guess, will be somewhat useful. If you have a battery in your main as well and you get dropped by like a Cyclone, a Medevac, and a couple of Marines, I guess having a Void Ray can be nice, but Void Rays are really expensive. I'm really surprised to see this, because I know Bully as a kind of meta Protoss guy that just looks at what the best players are doing, and he'll obviously have his own twist at certain things and will play in his own way and maybe slow certain things down a little bit instead of being on the edge. But a Void Ray first against a Terran with an expand is really not what I expected. I mean, the Phoenix could fly forward. You could just lift the Cyclone. There is a world where this Void Ray will be somewhat useful, but even if it's useful, I don't like it. There's also a world where it's really going to suck, and then we're dead. Currently, we have 3 Adepts, a Void Ray, and a Phoenix. That one battery is, that one Widowmine is very annoying. Bully decides to just donate. Oh no, this is a bad engagement, Bully. Bully, this is a bad engagement. I do not like it. Somehow, our Phoenix did not die immediately. Does end up dying in the end. We did buy time for warp gates, so we can now warp in 3 Stalkers, and that should make our lives a little bit better. The Void Ray is doing alrighty, I guess. I don't like the part that we lost the Phoenix. Phoenixes are too expensive to lose him that early on against Marines that don't have stim, any upgrades whatsoever. Thank you, Seplo. High hopes, mate. In the end, though, Bully lives with a little worker lead, and he's going to be kind of happy with that. I just hope we don't throw away a Phoenix here, because that would be very silly. And I guess we'll play Phoenix Zealot from here. I don't want to see Blink. The idea of playing a Void Ray into Phoenix into Blink is not one that sparks a lot of joy to me. Oh, he's actually meching, eh? Mech is pretty good against Phoenix Zealot. But Bully strikes me as a guy that will not be too stubborn and transition rather quickly. And then he might still be able to turn this into a good army against Mech. You guys don't need to listen to another speech of me on how I think Mech is kind of good, but I kind of want to start my speech, guys. Ravens as well with Interference Matrix. Maybe Maya is expecting Phoenix Robo here with like Quick Immortals and Colossus. Yeah, in this situation I would have liked Blink. When I say I did not like Void Ray Phoenix into Blink, I'm obviously thinking about a follow-up of Marines and Marauders with Stim and a couple tanks. If we know that we play against a lot of factories and a whole bunch of Cyclones, yeah, Blink Stalkers are actually better than Phoenixes with Zealots. Not wrong. These are things that we know. These are not things that Bully knows yet. Mech is good and tough to beat. I know it's very popular for a bunch of guys that have never made it above 3,700 MR to say that Mech sucks. And that Mech is never good against Protoss and nobody should play Mech, but if a Terran actually knows what they're doing with Mech, I'm not saying you're gonna beat Mech specs or stats when he's on fire, but almost every other Protoss player on the planet might very well be fair game. Phoenix count is 6. As Maya throws down a scan in the main base of our American Protoss. This is the first time that the Phoenixes are gonna see not just a couple Cyclones, but all the Cyclones. And if you now take a little look into that main base, you'll see additional factories, you'll see tanks being produced as well. And what do we do then? Do we take extra gases? Do we play like Zealot Arc on the Immortal? You really don't want to go too Zealot heavy against the man that is playing Mech. And I know that sounds silly, because Zealots in theory are very good against Mech. But there's also that tipping point where a Mech player's army is just becoming so freaking big that every single Zealot dies before it gets a hit off, before it gets in range, and when a bunch of Hellions get produced that morph into Hellbats, or Thors that just have a shit ton of HP. I'm very curious to see how this game will play out. Opening series of the night, $60 on the line for the winner, $15 for the loser. Of course, brought to you by Basilisk. By the way, guys, I didn't check my Discord. Is tonight the night that Zombie Grubber tournament is starting as well? The Safe Haven in Vegas. Nice moment for the Phoenixes, by the way, to fly in, but we do use almost all of our energy. And the mech army is hashtag rolling out. That starts tomorrow? Okay, cool. I don't know about this, man. I'm kind of worried, especially if all these zealots come in from one side. Thank the Lord there are no Hellbats. Anti-armor missile does go off. One of the Ravens has died. The other Raven is still alive. Like, this is the kind of mech army, though, that I do kind of think we can still beat. Because there are no Blue Flame Hellbats in the mix. We do really need zealots to go to the top right of our screen, stroll down this ramp, and flank this army. We need to go full Colaris here, guys. He's hitting from the east, hitting from the west, hitting from the east and west, east and west. Bottom, top, a bully, setting up a 360 surround, 40 ages for the United States of America. Aye, that anti-army missile connects with every single unit. At least one more Raven dies. Thinking about going for it. Phoenix are kind of going for it. We have a couple zealots coming in from the right. Without those zealots, we would get absolutely blasted here. With those zealots, I kind of want to believe, but we only have one Immortal in the mix. At least each and every single tank has died. We've got 2 more Immortals coming from the top. And I think a couple Cyclones is something we should be able to deal with, even though we lose one Immortal. We might lose the second one. Big Daddy Void Ray from the early game is showing up. It's an Immortal, a second Immortal, and a Void Ray against a bunch of Cyclones and a tank. Can we get at least that stupid tank? No, we cannot get that stupid tank. Well, what we can do is warp in a few more Zealots. Very close fight. Those Zealots have now been warped in, and that means that Maya has to go home for a split second. Now the Thors are in the mix, though. That makes it so hard. We were like 3 or 4 Zealots short. With 3 or 4 Zealots earlier, we win that fight with 2 Immortals and the Void Ray still alive, and I want to say we're cooking. But now maybe with these Zealots and these 2 Immortals that are being cranked out at a time from the Robo, we can still take an alrighty fight. We've got 1-1-1 upgrades for Bully, as he gets the Thor, gets the tank, and he's going to push the Cyclones all the way back. I think Maya's biggest mistake, maybe Bully can get that medevac with cargo. That is not going to happen. I think Maya's biggest mistake is just not making Hellbats earlier, man. Hellbats are so freaking amazing against Zealots. And now we've lost so many tanks and so many Cyclones because we did not have a single Hellbat in the mix. In the end, we forced the Protoss apparently to recall. And we live to fight another day. Maya throws down a scan at 12 o'clock. 3 more factories coming online. This base was dropped on location. Obviously, Bully was fully occupied in dealing with the army, and I get it. In a perfect world, guys, we would have warped in a couple Zealots here, clicked it on this location, see if there is an expand, and if you see it, you get on top of it, immediately kill the SCV, and you're kind of cooking. I'm gonna get another Stargate and a Fleet Beacon. Oh. Hiccups are not allowed. Bully finds the Liberator. Hello, Captain Air. Nice catch. So we don't end up losing probes. Bully's very rich. Going up to 5 bases. Even taking this one at 9 o'clock. I don't know if we're going to try to hide our carrier transition or not. 15 Cyclones, 1 tank, 3 Hellbats, 3 Hellions. If we would have shown up here before this base was a planetary, we would be cooking. But how do you think Germany will perform this evening? I mean, I'll give you a serious answer one time, and all the other times I'm going to meme, okay? I feel like Germany should be very fired up, pumped up to put on a show for the people at home, to give everybody hype that the Euros are on the way. So I think it's going to be an exciting, intense, fast game that I think Germany should be able to win like 3-1 or 4-1, something along those lines. And that's what I hope for as well. But from here on out, I'm just going to pretend like I think they're going to lose. That is the mandatory banter that I have as a Dutchman. Scotland, guys, always difficult. Pretty good. Who's that guy that always scores for them? Is it Scott McNominay or something from United? That guy's a god. Some even call him the LeBron James of soccer. I know that's Pulisic, but I think we can go for Scott McNominay as well. Max Sauce. I mean, yeah, that guy's pretty good. Bully going into Tempest before Carius. Might be an alright game to do it. I personally always believe a little more in carriers than I believe in Tempest. So let's see how this fight is gonna go. Cyclone count is pretty high. We've got 22. Hurricane Thrust is not quite done yet. Little Zealot run by, actually pretty good here as it breaks through the depots. Maybe gonna... Is there a tank on siege? Would have been so nice if the tanks were still sieged and you can put 2 Zealots in a mineral line with 20 SCVs there. Woo. I just always feel the longer you wait, the worse it gets when you're building Tempest. I'm not a Tempest believer. Unless your name is Alex Sunderhoff, I am not really a believer in the Tempest. And that's not fair of me, because Tempest should technically be really good against all the units that Maya currently has here. I just always see disastrous fights with Tempest in the late game. We're not quite there yet, because the anti-air army is not truly spectacular yet on the side of Maya. On top of that, he doesn't have any ghosts, so we can drop EMPs. One Nova from downtown! Oh, bully! Making the Minnesota Timber Poppies proud. They wish they were shooting like that against the Mavericks. Getting a Hellbat as well. Alright. If we can maintain this little army supply advantage that we have, and we can start putting on some real pressure with these Tempests, as we've got non-stop Zealot run-bys in the third, baby. Stars and Stripes, I'm feeling it. Bully, the man who is undefeated in the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts. Dino One here fires a few more times. He shoots, he scores. What do they say in the NBA? It's heat check time. I believe right now it is heat check time. The man can miss. Give him the ball. Half court. Steph Curry with the shot. Bully ties things up just like that. Oh my god, it's Maru. It is Maru, mate. But Maru may dominate over in Korea, but it doesn't mean that you can hang with those folks from Minnesota. Not that easy. GG. Fun start of the night, guys. As we go back to the European server. And hello, Patches. I will definitely write your name down, mate. Next Friday, we don't have a Big Brain Bout, because obviously we'll all be in Krefeld for the Home Story Cup, but there should be one the Friday after. I do always hold off on making big promises and saying like, alright, 2-3 weeks in advance we're doing it, because I just keep on checking in with Basilisk to make sure if they're okay with it, if they like it. In the end, it's their money, it's not my money. But as long as they allow me to run this, I will obviously run this event for you guys. Because A, it's fun for me, B, it's free entertainment. Or free content, I guess, from my point of view. And C, we're doing nice things for the scene. So as long as I can do it, I will keep on doing it. Even if all of you guys will be playing Stormgate, Battle Aces, Zero Space, whatever. As long as there is desire for some Starcraft 2 on the Friday evening, we're gonna do it. It is not the real Maru. The player that we are currently watching is Maya. Maya is a Russian Terran player, around 5,000 MMR. He just has an account on the American server called Maru, because he's probably a fan. Almost Maru. Hello, Tolo. Are you racing with us Sunday? I'm expecting a full grid. I hope every single racer that I've ever raced with, if you're not there on Sunday, I will be incredibly disappointed. Because I could be out and about, watching the Netherlands in the city, having some beers, spending time with my friends. I'm not doing it. I'm going to spend it with you guys. It's Saturday now? We're doing it Saturday now? What? You might disappoint. Don't break my heart, Proto. I need a full grid. You are forgiven if you miss it, as long as we have a full grid. Yeah, it's Sunday morning. Full grid, or all the people I've ever raced with are dead to me.
Round 3. Fight.
The bottom left side of Crimson Court, we are looking at the main base of our Russian Terran player making his debut on the Friday night. Representing the Platinum Heroes Academy, it is Maya. Or at least I assume it's the Academy. And in the top right side, rocking a perfect, undefeated 3-0 record on the Friday nights in the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts. It is our American Protoss player, Bulmyeolja, aka Bully. Crimson Court will be our third map. I feel like tonight we've got a bit of everything. We've got a community PvT, we've got a slightly higher ranked PvT, we've got a main event at ZVT, and then we've got a fun little PvP as well. Looking forward to all of it. I feel like it's going to be a good night of games. I'm coming to the Netherlands next month. What is the one thing I should try there? If you're talking about food, I always say bitterballen, mate. Bitterballen with mayo or mustard. That's really the very best that we have to offer. And some people think that's sad. I don't think it's sad at all. I think it's amazing. If you're talking about activities, I don't really know, mate. I'm not a tourist guide. I don't know what you're into. I don't know what sparks joy, but if you have any specific questions, I'll gladly tell you if I think it's a good idea or a bad idea, but I cannot plan your trip. What is it? The real secret of the bitterball is that nobody really knows what's inside of it. It's just really good. With mayo? Yeah, I like him with mayo. I go 50-50 on my bitterballen. Sometimes mayo, sometimes mustard. Sometimes I take both and then I do one bitterball mayo, the other one mustard, the other one mayo. Just alternate them. Made my day, Proto. How did Proto make your day? By calling you J-Goat? Did Sabadas go under a different nickname at one point? No, he's just a relatively new player. He's one of the young kids on Team Roddy. Just got a lot better in a pretty short time. 18-year-old kid, or maybe 19 at this point, from the Czech Republic. Protoss player that used to be 5'2", 5'3". Went to the ladder, played a bunch of games, just did his best. He's now up to like 5,800 MMR. This is very good. Dutchies eat everything with Maya. Not everything, but a lot of things. My mom used to put mayo on her sandwiches. And I love mayo with French fries. And like stuff like the cassoulet, frikandel, bitterballen, hamburgers, all of it. I love it. But on like a ham and cheese sandwich that's not toasted or something, just regular bread, ham, cheese, to then put mayo on it, it's actually disgusting. I have no idea how my mom eats that stuff. And not a little bit of mayo. No. She would empty that tube. I'm like, Mom, this is not good for you. She's like, oh, let me have it. Mustard, maybe a tiny bit. I mean, to each their own, guys. Triple CC opening on the side of not Mayo, but Maya. Yes, I don't think Bully has really scouted this yet. We can't forget about Oceanborn, game 1. Obviously, the third base was, I think, a little bit later than ideally he would love to take it as a Protoss. That could be because there were Cyclones in his face, and then there was the threat of the Cloak Banshee follow-up and whatnot. We would definitely have to drop that Nexus a little bit quicker. Get maybe mine out the gold mineral patches here. Click the probe through immediately, warp in that Nexus. Then it's not that bad. This should be okay. No, I don't think Bully is much of a like 4-gate blink stalker enjoyer. I don't think you'll see him do that very often. So we have Sriracha in the Netherlands, but the recipe of Sriracha has changed over the years, and I feel like Sriracha was way better 10 years ago than it currently is. I have a bottle in my fridge, but I really don't love it anywhere near as much as I used to love it. It was way better back in the old days. And somebody told me the story on what this was all about. I forgot the details of it, but it has changed. And it used to be better. Call down for a depot on the side of Maya's. Apparently one of her depots was a little bit late. The Terran get out of jail free card, huh? They always whine when Protoss players recall. I never see anybody say something about a depot that just falls out of the sky. Oh. Do you like Sriracha Mayo? Yes, Mikil. I recently bought that for the first time in my life in a Dutch supermarket. I was like, I'm gonna give it a shot, and I loved it. It's very good. I mean, I love spicy stuff and I love mayo, so yeah. Sriracha mayo is made for me. If you would see how much mayo my mom would put on her sandwich, nobody would approve of that. It's almost like my mom was having mayo and on top of that a tiny bit of a sandwich. I'm like, Mom, I love you, but this is not okay. And I love mayo as much as the next guy. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about our Game 3 TVP, as obviously this is a big moment. Maya's moving out 2 medevacs with some stim by. We've got 20 Marines with stim, 5 Marauders. Combat shield is done. +1 not quite done yet. Bully's macro has been good, by the way. 60 workers. And for all the teasing that I do about his DT addiction, really hasn't been like all-out DTs each and every single game. Sure, in Game 1, he gave the fans what we wanted, but Game 2 and Game 3 so far, it really is not about silly amounts of DTs too early and awkward moments. We've got an observer. Ideally, guys, I think this is the kind of observer you put it a bit further to the left. Oh no, not to the bottom. I would like to see it here. So you give yourself those 2 extra seconds to warp in units. Does he see that? Does he see that? Please tell me you saw that, Bully. Yes, he did see it. 3 stalkers obviously is not necessarily going to be enough, but we can rally some robo units over as well. Only 3 gates at the moment. Okay, we really need more. The 3 stalkers right on the edge do apparently scare Maya a little. And Maya will not commit. Maya thinks about stimming into the natural. There's a lot of energy here on this Nexus that we haven't been using. Colossus, please be careful. Colossus should be careful. On the bottom side here, I think Bully is going to be completely fine. It was the natural that was scary, and in the end, he actually only ends up losing the battery, so that's really not that bad. Maya throws down a scan in the main base. Sees a little opening here. Game 3, obviously a very important one. In every single best of 5, if we're all tied up. Bully could really use a couple zealots. We're just floating too much, mate. Pylon. Right now, Bully really needs to start queuing up every single upgrade he could queue up and build 5 pylons at once and build another Nexus, either here or here. Maybe even here, I don't care. We are so heavily supply blocked and we've got a lot of money in the bank. We're gonna get 4 pylons. I'm gonna get observer speed by the looks of it. And a few more gateways. As Maya loads up a single medevac once more, and he is ready to send it into the main base. Bully warped in enough stalkers, a blink could have maybe guaranteed a kill. Let's get a 4th Nexus, Bully. We have double forge. I don't love the idea of being too aggressive with this army. Like, you need a pylon and a gate out on the map and maybe a warp prism somewhere. Getting a 2nd robo is nice. For my part, we even get a 3rd robo. We could maybe kill this medevac. Bully blinks forward, kills it, kills the Marauders too. Does not lose a single unit. Looking pretty good so far. Some people were afraid this was not going to be competitive. Seems pretty competitive to me. If Bully wins again, by the way, he's getting Maya next. Or Moja, sorry. Assuming Moja wins tonight. And if he doesn't win, he's getting cuckooed. Because that's it. No one goes 5-0 in the Big Brain Bouts. Yeah, I do think that Bully could have expanded a little earlier, but probably felt the pressure of seeing medevacs here, seeing an army at the bottom side. And he was able to defend pretty damn good and effectively. He really did not make a lot of mistakes at all. There was a tiny opening in the natural, but he didn't really get punished for that. Storm not quite done yet. I think it's very hard to attack into a Terran. I mean, we've got all these expensive upgrades on the way and Storm ain't ready yet. Man is built different, Sap. Those American Protoss players, man. Spanish Goat, Bully, Gemini, absolute animals, each and every single one of them. Bully sending forward a single disruptor. We know about Magnet, his disruptor shots that go straight to Mecca. This one went straight to Fargo in North Dakota. And there was no one there. It just stopped somewhere in a forest. I think Maya will have an advantage if he can just get 3-3, get advanced ballistics. As long as we don't have liberators with advanced ballistics, I kind of believe that there is a world where Bully can take a good fight with immediate reinforcements as well. That's obviously what makes Protoss Protoss. You don't just fight with this army. I don't like all these High Templars so close to each other. We're looking for the triple kill. We get the triple kill, but we also get EMP'd on each and every single Archon. But this time around, we still have a decent army near battery overcharge. I believe that Bully should still take a decent fight here. Even if that EMP was obviously way too freaking big. But it's battery overcharge for the win. And Maya perhaps in a tiny bit of trouble now. Because how do you evacuate? If you pick up these goals, the Stalkers will blink forward. And you can see that if you don't pick them up, the Zealots and Archons will kill him. So Bully with the High Templar bait of the century. Let's just say it was calculated, guys. Actually takes an amazing fight, kills a lot of very expensive units. And Maya here in game 3 on the European server in a little bit of trouble. All of these Vikings are gonna get picked off as well. We have reinforcements for days, 12 gates, 2800 minerals in the bank. We're getting a Dark Shrine. There is no stopping Bulmyeolja in the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts. The man gets EMP'd with all 7 High Templars, but still takes a god tier fight because of the immediate reinforcements. That Protoss bank and battery overcharge for the win is gonna give Bully the 2-1 lead. And now we go back to the American server for game 4. And we are 1 map away from Bully actually going 4-0 in the BBBs. That'd be wild. I don't think anybody's ever gone 4-0. We ain't there yet. Things are looking pretty good for the man that we got to spend a lot of time with in Dallas. We shall never mention the church again on this stream. He took us there. In return, I thought I'll get a revenge on him. I'll give him Maya. It's gonna be tough. And he takes the 2-1 lead. What a man. Sarah could. I know Sarah played in the BBB a couple times. I think he played against Clem. Just maybe one time against Raynor, where they played TVT first, and Sarah won the series. I think he played against Clem. I think that's it. I think it's just 2 times. I have tried many more times to get Jonah, but the GOAT is a busy man. And he did tell me that he will let me know whenever he's available and in the mood to play in the BBB. I kindly reminded him of that statement in Dallas. He said, I know, just not in the mood. Fair enough, Yona. I was like, I'm still waiting, Yona. He's like, I'm aware. I obviously have one man in mind that I would absolutely love to see him play a best of 5 with. But Yona wasn't really feeling it. And if the GOAT ain't feeling it, it ain't happening. But he'll let us know when he is. Bully said, sorry, 1 sec for water, 30 seconds. But he says that he's ready now. Maya is ready too. They are selected as a PvP now, but obviously we're going to switch races. Serial versus Coco. I don't know. Coco still needs to play in the BBB. We are looking for it. It's just, it's kind of hard to find a great opponent for Coco that I feel like would make for an entertaining series. But we'll absolutely make it happen. Maybe in 2 weeks. Maru is back though, guys. Maru is back, by the way. Welcome back, Maru.
Round 4. Fight.
No one heard a thing, right? Bottom left side. Historically 3-0 in the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts. And is now 1 map away from making it a perfect 4-0. And at that point, we may have to start seeding him a little deeper into the Friday night show matches. And obviously give him even tougher competition, even though he was the underdog coming into this series. It is my friend from the United States of America, Bully. The man who dragged us all to the church in Dallas. We had a very intense debate as well on whether or not the church and It Will Do are the same place. And I was convinced that they were not. I was like, no, we went to the wrong place. This is the church, but there is another bar called It Will Do. And Bully's like, wait, it's the same thing. I was like, no, it's not. Look, they're all dressed up as the church. And in the end, I wasn't totally wrong, but I wasn't right either. It was technically 2 different clubs, but they will never run at the same time because they share the same venue. So one weekend it is the church, and then the next weekend it is It Will Do. I was looking for It Will Do on the night of the church. There was no It Will Do. Top right side of Elisione. We are looking at the main base of the man who's winning back to back Code S's over in Korea, but can't get the job done on the Friday night. That man is Maru. It's not Maru, obviously, guys. We're looking at Maya, representing the Platinum Heroes. Perhaps he's feeling a tiny bit of nerves as well, knowing a lot of his friends are watching. There is money on the line. It's not every single day that people at this MMR play for prize money. And perhaps he's having a tough time bringing his A game to the show so far. But it ain't over yet. Pig is just a freak, let's be honest. We love Piggy. He's great. He's handsome. He's charming. He's funny. He's smart. But he's also an absolute freak. So Pig loving the church does not make the church a cool place. And for the few people that are religious, I'm not talking about your traditional church. I'm talking about a bar or club in Dallas called The Church. Don't get angry at me. I've already gotten my fair share of DMs throughout the last 12 years of me taking the Lord's names in vain. I don't want no trouble. We don't want that smoke. It is oh my gosh for me. No more oh my god. I've learned my lesson. Don't get angry, guys. Bully's got a probe on patrol on the right side, and that's actually something I kind of like. And I would never move it. I would just kind of keep it here. It is really nice when you're playing something like Phoenix Zealot. You don't obviously have that permanent map vision of something like Observers that a Robotech could give you early on. So just having a probe somewhere on patrol could really save your entire game just by catching a glimpse of a Liberator, Viking, a Banshee early on, Medevac moving out. Absolutely not winged. But I do believe that they hate that less than oh my god. But we don't need to get into the details. TLDR. I've gotten a lot of funny DMs over the last 12 years. Mostly positive. Some very sexy. Some very disturbing. You get it all, guys. If you do it long enough, you see a little bit of everything. I say 12, but it's more like 20. But who's keeping track? Thank you, by the way, to my sweet Lost in Canada for the 38 months. I really appreciate it. And Dohi for the 22 months. We've got Maru, aka Maya, sending out a double Widowmine drop. We were talking about it earlier. The man does not know that this is another Stargate opening, and this is a dream scenario for the Protoss. If the Phoenixes can just stay home, Bully is gonna turn around. Maya could actually be in serious trouble here, guys. First mine gets a drop, second mine gets dropped, and they won't deal any damage at all. Maya is in trouble, and Bully, just like Basilisk earlier today, is ready for his 4th win in a row. You guys know what they call those.
Quad kill.
Now he ain't there yet. Never celebrate too early. He is gonna have relatively late Zealot charge. He's gonna see this move out. What do you want to do here? Like lift this tank, for instance. That would give you so much time. Lift Marine, Marine, tank. If Maya turns around, you're loving life. If Maya doesn't turn around, you're also loving life because you're killing 2 Marines in the tank. Bully might still be in a bit of trouble. I don't like the idea of staying too passive forever. Obviously taking a fight with a lot of adepts. Battery overcharge could be good. Do we have an immortal? No. This is gonna be close, guys. Perhaps for all the marbles here in our first best of 5 or 4 best of 5s tonight. This one pylon is incredibly important, by the way. Holy smokes. A Dark Shrine. Of course he's getting a Dark Shrine, but Maya is actually already getting a very quick eBay. As we have a couple batteries, overcharge gets used once more on the most back battery. I don't really love that. Second time that Bully is doing that throughout this series. You want to get value out of your overcharges. If you would overcharge this one, your units can just stand here and basically kill stuff for free forever. Phoenix count is still high. Maya is rallying more and more units to the other side of the map. I don't love this flyby. Oh, Bully, we had such a good start, my friend. Well, we've been a little bit indecisive. We should be able to lift some of these reinforcements as he's getting submarines, he's getting SCVs. Could even go for the tank here. That's exactly what he does. But he is losing gateways. He's floating too much money. He should have been warping in like 5 gates in his main. This is not going to be a pretty fight. Do we have Coco's second overcharge available by any chance? Not quite. He will be ready in a couple of seconds. Actually, that one Immortal really is doing work. We just have too much money in the bank. Somehow there's been an eBay that has been almost done for a little while. As we do use another overcharge this time around, the Immortal will live. We have warped in Zealots. The Dark Shrine is done. And we are warping in Zealots. Tank actually dealing a lot of friendly fire. 6 gateways coming online. Can 2 Immortals buy enough time for 6 gateways to come online? And then somehow we get Zealot charge. Somehow we get Immortals that can, DTs that can swipe some stuff up. It seems very, very unlikely. First DT has been warped in. Do we have scan? Oh, it's triple. Oh, he dropped a mule. Dropping a mule, by the way, is great news for Bully. Now there's only one scan. If he now immediately warps in another DT, maybe that one DT can be very valuable. Missile turret is being built. Man, triple orbital gives you so much energy. Oh, it seems like we are going to game 5. Unfortunately for Bully, it is not quite going to be the quad kill yet. If he would have just bought a little more time with the Phoenixes, lift a couple Marines, lift a couple SCVs, get like one pile in here to warp in 6 gates immediately, I actually think he would have smashed that push. Unfortunately now the Twilight Council unpowered, missile turret in the front. 2-2, we're all tied up. Maya sends us to game 5. Let's do a coin flip. Coin flip. I'll let you choose, Maya. Alright guys, I'm gonna show you guys my monitor to show you there's no cheating. From here on out, I'll show you guys the monitor. Maya wants heads. Here we go. It's tails. And I assume that means that we are staying on an A. Tails never fails. I would always go for heads as well. Certain things everybody just has their go-to. Like rock, paper, scissors is maybe a little bit more up for debate. But when it comes to roulette tables, never ask me if it's red or black. Always black. And when it comes to a coin flip, heads or tails, I'll always go heads. Don't really have a reason for it, but it's just the way that I'm programmed. Tails feels like a hipster pick. And red is just weird. Who picks red? You could pick black. Not me. Alright, game 5 will be played on site Delta. We've already been gaming for an hour. For all the marbles, $60 for the winner, $15 for the loser. Brought to you by Basilisk. Bully for the 4th time already. Maya making his debut. Side Delta.
Final round. Fight!
This man's gonna be kicking himself a tiny bit because he had a dream start there on El Sayani, guys. His opponent did not scout, went for a double Widowmine drop. He killed the 2 Widowmines, he killed the Medevac, he saw the initial move out, just couldn't quite spend his money and crumbled a little bit under the pressure that his opponent piled on. But we're still here, we're still fighting, and we're playing on our home server. Fighting out of Minnesota, United States of America, it's Bully. As he is trying to take down the 7-time GSL Code S champ, hailing from Russia these days, guys. It's Maya, not Maru. For everyone who just opened the stream, this is not the Korean player Maru. Just a Russian Terran player called Maya, who's a fan of Maru. So we're having a bit of fun with it. And he's opening up a double gas. Gotta say, Maya's been a fun player throughout this best of 5, right? He's tried different things. He showed us a little bit of everything. Some aggression, some macro, some mech even. It's been fun watching him for the first time. I have enjoyed it. Keeping Bully in the dark. Going for a very early wall off. So, okay, Bully might get lucky here. RNG, Protoss RNG. Terran RNG. Why is it always Terran RNG? Would you guys be worried if you're Bully? Game 5. You know it's for all the marbles. Winner takes all. Oh, it's not quite winner takes all. If this is what I would scout in Game 5, my heart would definitely start beating just a tiny bit quicker. And I worry if there is another barracks here. If there are 3 more barracks over here. If the boys are being sent to the other side of the map. Like, stuff that you're normally not too concerned about in Game 5 of a competitive nail-biting best of 5. Yeah, you're gonna worry about it. You wouldn't even scout this early? That's true. But by the time that I scout, I can see this setup as well. And I am supposed to see either a command center or an add-on or a Reaper or a factory. My scouts may be later, but by either seeing or not seeing stuff, I see everything. One day, Wingant, when you're grown up and wise, you'll understand that. That the older you get, the more you realize that sometimes less is more. And that goes for many things in life, my young friend. No, I always scout. I just scout in my own way. I actually pretty much always scout against Terran. There's not a game where I don't scout. Unless I just forget because I'm talking to chat. If I ever don't scout against Zerg or Terran, it's because I'm chatting. PvP, sometimes I don't scout, but that's only in the old patches. In this meta and on this patch, you're pretty much forced to scout early in PvP. Otherwise, you have a bit of a death wish. Thank you, Shazak, for the 18 months. Maya opening up with a couple Widow Mines, or at least a single Widow Mine, a couple Marines. Early medevac. Very safe opening here by Maya. It's almost like he's worried about something. I mean, there is a world where he will still deal some damage and he's going to be very happy with his start. There's also a world where he just loses this medevac because he sticks around a tiny bit too long. Blink is done and he's actually in serious trouble. Thank you, TA, matey. Appreciate it. Hello, Y Haskell. Follow-up is going to be tanks and banshees, perhaps somewhat similar to what we had on Oceanborn. I think Bully honestly defended pretty well on Oceanborn. Blink is 10-15 seconds away from finishing up. The medevac is going to boost in 4 minutes and 20 seconds into the game. The medevac is here. Widow Mine is, I think, another very scary spot. I would just let this mine fire, by the way. Let it fire if it wants to. If it doesn't, it's also good. Oh, kill it, Bully. Ah. Let it fire. It doesn't matter. Let it fire. Oh, perfect. I actually really like the defense. And now Blink is done as well. Great start here for Bully. Very well done. Love that he pulled one probe temporarily out of the gas. Just let it sit here. Let it fire. Pulled one away to make sure he didn't lose it. 2 splash damage. And a quick charge as a follow-up. Now, Cloak Banshees could become pretty scary. We've got one observer. Will this observer get the scout on the Cloak Banshee? Come on, Bully. Guys, this would be so massive. If the Stalkers are still at home and the observer scouts the ban. Oh, that's so unlucky. Cloak Banshee is going to sneak in without Bully being totally aware of it. This is the first time he's going to see it. Might not lose too much, but I think at least 4 workers. Oh, no. Okay. Maya does not want to stick around. And that's fair, obviously. Ow. lot of energy on this Nexus. Bunker and an eBay coming up. Spotted wall off. Seems like Maya doesn't really want to send it too early with everything. Does he believe that a slow and steady is the way to go? It's now 6 minutes and our man Bully, guys, is still a 2-base Protoss. Perhaps Maya would have moved out earlier if he would have seen that Bully went up to 3 bases and would be short on units. But knowing that the American Protoss has expanded a lot later than Protoss players normally expand, he decides to stay at home, and that's actually a pretty good play. Are these guys GM? Yes. They are Grandmaster League. But there are many different levels within GM. When it comes to skill, there really is no bigger league than GM. The bottom of GM is a lot worse than the guys a couple hundred and more above that. Those guys are worse than the guys a couple hundred and more above that. And that happens like 5 times across GM. So yes, they are Grandmaster League, but it doesn't mean that they are pro gamers or semi-pro gamers. But they are good video gamers, and they're putting on a great show. The Big Brain Bouts is not only for the pros, it is also for the community. Especially the first best of 5 of the night. Bully's got a whole bunch of stalkers here. Do we have an observer? Yes. Can the stalkers blink in time? Not quite, but obviously they can make their way over. I wouldn't blink too early because I want to guarantee myself a kill with the blink. And that is exactly what Bully does. He waits a little bit, stalkers blink forward, lost 5 probes, but gets the double kill.
Double kill.
Hey. Overall, Terran is ahead. But I think this best of 5 has been too close, too competitive to just now assume that the Terran is going to win. Because they're a tiny bit ahead. If this is Clan Max Packs, I'm obviously not loving it for Max Packs. But even then there is still a chance. I think on this level there are still many chances. Beating Roddy regularly gamers? No. It is highly unlikely that I would lose to Bully or Maya. I'm sure it's possible. It also really depends what Roddy shows up. Don't forget that I'm an old man. I'm falling apart. But no. On average, I will win a whole lot more than I will lose. Pulling the boys as a 3-base Terran. I'm a little bit surprised by that. He has played it so slow throughout this entire series. Now we decide to pull all the boys. Storm is on the way, but it's not quite done yet. Obviously, if Bully stands here with this army, I mean, Battery Overcharge is actually very sick. If there was ever a great spot to go for Battery Overcharge, this is it. Oh, just a move, mate, please. Stop. What are we doing? Oh, no, we're lagging a little bit as well. As the army steams forward, kills the Overcharge battery. We are counting down the seconds for Storm, but we just don't have Storm yet. One more Archon is doing his best Stinky Boy impression. Gets a really good shot off on the Marines. That is big, because now the Immortal can get in range, getting on top of the tanks. We have extra Zealots coming in as well, and this actually looks like it's going to be a hold for Bully. 1-1 upgrades are very close to finishing up. Minus 24 SCVs, but Bully does not fumble. Fumbled a little, and maybe in the beginning of the fight it's going to try. Oh no, he does fumble! Jeez Louise. That was an American blink if I've ever seen one, but it's okay. He still killed 24 SCVs, and he's still going. I mean, he's up 20 workers, he's got 1-1, he's got Storm. That obviously was a little bit silly. Trying to activate all 3 Widowmines at once, blinked a little too early. And ate 2 massive Widowmine shots to the face. I'd still say he's winning at this point, but he does not have the game in the bag yet. Where's the Terran army supply? It's in medevacs, mate. We have a lot of medevacs. So we're now getting a few more Marauders, few more Marines. There are 5 mines still on the field as well. And he's building his first Liberators that are now being rallied to the bottom left side. Can Bully stay undefeated in the BBB? Or is it time for Maya to put an end to that streak? Don't lose your High Templars, please, Bully. Whatever you do, do not lose your High Templars. Ate 1 shot on the High Templar there, but that's it. Now we killed 2 Liberators, only lost 3 probes. It's actually a pretty big win on the side of Bully. Maya's done a very good job in rebuilding the SCVs that he lost there by pulling all the boys. He's now down only 5 workers. That's obviously not too shabby. You don't think he... I think he noticed the other 3 mines there. He clearly tried... He ran deep to make sure that all 3 mines would fire. He just blinked a bit too early. It's alright. Mistakes happen. You guys can blame me, Casticurs. I was giving him a compliment saying that he didn't fumble. And then he messed up. 2 more Liberators are being rallied to the top left side. Bully has seen them. And is now waiting. Let's space out your High Templars a little, mate. Why do you always carry all of them around so close to each other? If you have a random High Templar here, and then one here in the back of your main, you're just doing so good. Bully is all over his minimap though, sees that the Liberators are gonna go forward, gets the double kill on these, as he knows about the Widow Mines. The longer we wait, the more oh. Alright, we see these. That helps. -2 libs, -4 mines. For basically nothing. Bully is doing really, really good. But he ain't there yet. We're gonna get a Robo Bay. We already have 2 Robos on the side of the Protoss. I hate seeing this, guys. We've already seen a couple of very painful EMPs throughout this best of 5. I actually don't think that right now is the right time for Maya to drop. And the reason that is because A, Bully has a decent amount of map vision, so he's gonna see it probably, get ready for it. But more importantly, the Protoss is 2 upgrades ahead. So even if you're terribly out of position against the drop, you warp in 6 Zealots and 2 Stalkers, and you're just going to deal with a double drop without any issues. So, as a Terran, you don't really want to be dropping a Protoss too much if you're down in upgrades. 1 upgrade is acceptable, but down 2 upgrades is going to make it really hard to find damage. Not sure if going for Stargates now already is the right play, but we are gaming. It is Bully's world, and if that man wants to go triple Stargate, who am I to say that it's the wrong decision? This kind of feels that this reminds me a little of Hero against Maro, game 5. Where if we would have kept the game simple and spammed some gateway units and railway units, we would have been fine. There are 4 goals coming in from the right side, top right side. As Bully is ready to drop some storms, maybe. Why are they so close to each other? The biggest hunt-in-hunt camarade I've ever seen. Coming out of a couple of High Templars. Maybe a feedback. Oh, EMP! Ooh, doesn't really connect with all of them. Gets 3 out of 6 High Templars. Bully, stop having them right next to each other, mate. For fuck's sake, split them up, please. Upgrades are about to be almost even as well. High Templars coming in from the bottom. They will land a couple of storms as the goals were just a little bit too far to the top. Somehow we are missing every single EMP. That's impressive. May have a little bit to do with the ping as well that Maya is dealing with, as a few Widow Mines fire. Zealots are gonna get blown up. I don't know if we need to keep on chasing, but Bully probably feels this moment. Nice micro here by Maya. Eventually need to turn around and fight though, Maya. And that moment is right now. Is it Bully or is it Maya here in game 5? Bully's gonna have a lot of fresh Zealots coming in from the top left. As that Liberator just shows up a split second too late. The Zealot drags the Widow Mine shot on top of the Marauder. Do you think Bully needs to maybe stop here? For just 1 second stop. Close fight. Really close series, between these guys. So we have a Disruptor looking for a big shot. We're going for the Cuckoo. Maya cannot quite pull off the Cuckoo. But at least kills that Disruptor and only loses 3 Marauders. Triple Stargate online has a whole bunch of inactive probes. Way too many probes on this little mineral patch. 3 probes not doing anything here. These need to be sent over towards our 5th base. Oh, 1 Hero Marine! Oh, that would have been epic. 4 HP left on the High Templar. That would have been sick, actually. Value Marine, baby. +3 attack is close to finishing up on the side of Maya. Bully is going into Tempest already. I really don't love it. Warping in a bunch of DTs as well. I like that more. Do we have missile turrets? Yeah, couple. Not that many, to be fair. DTs will reveal themselves. Why does he love Tempest so much? We have a decent amount of cannons and batteries, to be fair. That makes Tempest a slightly better choice than it otherwise would have been. 5 DTs are gonna reveal themselves here just to kill a couple of SCVs. Not the best rate. And I'm putting that mildly. Same, Terran. I never knew that that's the fight that I was looking for when I was signing up to cast 4 more best of 5s on the Friday night. But I'm glad we got to see it. EMPs are dangerous here. The Nova's dangerous as well. Maya trying to split, but you can see that he is having a bit of ping. He's making a lot of the right plays, and then unfortunately it kind of backfires. He's going to split up his army. This is where life becomes hard for Bully. I think a recall might be necessary here. That is exactly what Bully is going to do. Recalls a lot. Uh-oh. Man, this game is going to be chaotic. This is not a good Protoss army, but there are balls. The balls are what makes his army good, as Bully gets a hat-trick of kills on the go. Still 7 goals remaining somehow. Such a high amount. I don't like this Protoss army, by the way. If it ever is exposed, we have a lot of High Templars on the left. 1 or 2 EMPs on those High Templars is what Maya needs, as he does land a couple of EMPs. Oh no, Bully, it's such a bad fight, mate. This is why Tempest sucks. This is why you don't want to fight away from cannons and batteries. It is Maya who takes an absolutely fantastic fight. That doesn't mean Maya is going to win. Killing Tempest near batteries and cannons is going to be very difficult. 1 Nova, 1 more round of DTs, High Templars, whatever. Can make the difference. Move your Tempest, Bully. As he is going to move his Tempest. Oh, you forgot about these two. Jeez Louise, where are these Tempests going? These Tempests don't even want to be a part of Minnesota anymore. They are going straight to Alberta. That's a little too far. Turn around. Stay at least in the Toronto area. As Bully is now in danger. Blinks a lot of DTs forward. I don't see a scan yet. That scan is damn late. There was a tiny EMP revealing a few of the DTs, but really not all of them. So Bully actually gets a pretty good cleanup in the end. Lost the base, lost 19 probes, but he was so rich that he can kind of afford it. DT Tempest Disruptor. What the hell is his army? What is this army? And what is this opening best of 5 of the night, guys? Maybe it's my Neil National jersey that's bringing some luck. Yeah, I don't like the Tempest at all, but it's okay. If he likes them, it is what it is. And let's see. Perhaps they can still shine. Perhaps they can still shine. Is it Bully who will go 4-0? Or will Maya be the first player to take out Bully? These Novas, man. Yakutsk? Saint Prince Edward Island or whatever. I don't know where these Novas are going, guys. But they are not going in the right direction, I'll tell you that much. These Novas make Magnetist Purification Novas look like they are actually on a mission. As DTs will blink forward. It's a big scan this time around by Maya, but it's so many Zealot, Stalkers, DTs that it's actually kind of difficult for this Bi army to just stand there and fight. They even have +3 shields, by the way. These units have disrupted. I was kind of lurking around the corner, waiting for its moment to strike. Unfortunately for Bully, falls short. This is an epic series, man. Obviously, it's a bit sloppy from time to time, and it's a bit silly, but the games have been very exciting. Bully is down 30 supply, but I'm starting to like these fights for him. As long as he doesn't expose the Tempest, and he's kind of exposing the Tempest. And now we lost each and every single DT. Oh no, Bully, mate, not like this. If these Tempests would have just stayed safe, you really would have been able to get some good value out of them. Oh, it seems that the dream is dead for our American Protoss. It's been a fun series. He had it, he lost it, he had it again. It seems like in the end it will be Maya from Russia making his debut. And he's gonna walk away with $60. Will be the first man who can actually put a W over Bully in the Big Brain Bouts on his resume. Fun series, good Starcraft, messy Starcraft, funny Starcraft. In the end, it's Maru and Maya who get the job done. MMR is around 5k. A little bit higher, sometimes a little bit lower, but let's say between 4,900 and 5.1k. A fun series, a painful one for Bully. Game 4 he had a dream start. Game 5 was looking really good as well after that hold. Unfortunately, we could not capitalize on the leads. GG! Congrats to Maya for getting the job done on the Friday night. Walking away with $60. Really fun series. And obviously Bully, even if this one didn't go your way, it was still fun. I really appreciate it. Bully's reign is over. Long live the new king that is Maya. It's alright. I'm sure there are plenty of eager nerds around 5-1, 5-2 that are ready to challenge Maya and take the crown from him. I'm going to go ahead and swap over to the European server. Next up, we've got another TVP. It will be Moja versus Kukut. Moja for the second or third time in the BBB and Kukut for the very first time. It's been a long time coming. Kukut has been DMing me for around 4 months. We are finally here. He was supposed to play earlier. Then one day before that, he dropped water into his computer and his computer didn't work anymore. Then the next week he couldn't make it. The following week he was still in America. Took a little while to get it going. But Kukut versus Moja is coming up. I'm gonna go ahead and take a very tiny break. After that, I'll be back. One more PEVT coming your way.